and you work for them, and you have never questioned the history of Dr. Fauci. You have never questioned all of his suggestions over the years. Do you know his track record? Do you know all the things that this man has suggested that have not worked? Not recently. I'm talking about all the way back to the 1980s and 90s when he became one of the individuals who became America's doctor. You need to research the people who you work for and with so that you know that you may be a party to the destruction of your people unwittingly, unknowingly, unintentionally. And too many black folks help to destroy their own people and their culture. Mexicans, Jewish people, white people even help to destroy their own people without even knowing it, because they go along with a damn script that was pre-written by someone who does not have their better interest at hand.
So what is the purpose then? What is the purpose then of them worldwide and putting talking heads up for all of us then?
Absolutely. And I love this argument as well. This is why they don't like to have your brother on. There was an advisor to President Jimmy Carter by the name of Zbigniew Brzezinski. He stated that in earlier times, quote, I
just want to say, if you ever end up on Jeopardy, you win in that whole thing.
Zbigniew Brzezinski particularly said, quote, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. But in today's time, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. Global 2000 was authorized under President Jimmy Carter. In Global 2000, which is a government policy, you can go ahead and look this up. It specifies how to use food as a weapon and how to use reproductive services as a weapon. If you go back to Dr. Henry Kissinger in 1974, who was the 32nd Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford, Chapter 6, he specified, quote, depopulation should be the highest priority of U.S. foreign policy towards the third world, end quote. They specified that the population is outgrowing our ability to control them. And so at this point, do you think that a government is interested in having people stand up against them interracially, interreligiously, interconnected culturally?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good.
How are
Welcome
you
to the
doing?
Chatterbox. I'm great. Welcome to the Chatterbox with King Jacob once again. And we're here, man. Hope everybody had a thumping Thursday, and you know, it was productive, and you made some new connections, you gained some new resources, and you know, a chance for you to acquire some new revenue. You know? Yeah. So welcome to another edition of the Chatterbox, the edition of Thumping Thursdays. And so we're gonna get into this special guest. Oh man, listen, man. She don't need no introduction, but you know, I'll go ahead and let her properly introduce herself, you know, to the audience so we can get into her journey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jon'Rea. That's JON''REA. And I'm excited to be here with you, Jacob.
No doubt. So, the $1 million question: who is Jon'Rea?
Jon'Rea is a sultry singer. She is from Columbia, South Carolina, born and raised, traveled the world, had a great time. They're calling me the sultry diva of R&B and Southern soul, inspirational music. So it's a little new swag we got going on.
Okay. Well, that's a heavy title, you know. A lot of expectations come with that title, I'm pretty sure.
It do, because you're starting with a new way of doing things, and with new things come a lot of new things. There's a saying with it that you hear a lot: new level, new devils.
Yes. So, with that being said, let's go into how your journey started. Like, how did the entertainment journey start for you?
The entertainment journey started for me being a now recording artist. That started within the past few years, like in the last 3 years. So I've been doing it for 3 years. I just recently went through rebranding in October, so I am now officially Jon'Rea, the artist, sultry singer. I was previously She Diddy. That was the acronym for sexy, humble, educated, driven, intelligent, determined, diva, and youthful is what it stood for. But we went in a different direction. And in a new direction, we're loving the direction that we're going. And and it's a wonderful situation. The music has been moving. We're going to be tapping into different genres of music, but mostly we're doing neo soul and inspirational music, something to give you a little feel good music. That's what's been missing. So I'm giving you something for the soul.
Okay, okay, something for the soul. And so you also tapped into the modeling world as well as being an actress and being on a lot of different film sets and stuff like that. So what is that modeling world like, and how did modeling come to you as an opportunity?
Modeling actually came by chance. It was not initially where I started. Um, so being a model, I've been a model for over 10 years. I've done New York Fashion Week, a wonderful experience. Um, I've done Madam Butterfly. I've done traveling. I've done international. I've been in various magazines in the U.S. and out of the U.S. So I am an official international model. So been in it for 10 years. I also do fashion directing, set directing. So I got a few little hands within the fashion arena. I've even helped put together some fashion shows as well as a model manager. So yeah, in the fashion world, I've kind of been doing a good bit. Modeling led into opening doors for me in the acting realm, where I started off doing plays and then started getting into acting in movies. And that in itself opened up more doors. So everything opened up doors in another arena. And that's how I became an author. I wanted to tell a little bit about that as well.
Okay, so modeling, being an actress, an author, singer, songwriter, public speaker. What is the balance? Because you are a mother as well, and so
I am.
how do you find your balance with motherhood and being an entertainer?
There is a happy balance with it all because my kids were involved in a lot of what I did. They did some modeling as well, and my son ventured into acting. But as it would have it, they grow up, they want to do some different things, so they came out of that world and they wanted um, to have some form of normalcy, if you would call it. And so they every now and then will hit the runway with their mom, so they're there with me at performances, on the set recording. They're there. Each one of them have their own little job that they do. Some do some PR work with me. Some help with fashion and designs. So they're involved with it. Just this is just as much as them as mine. So it's a family affair for me. Um, if they're not there, they're doing some sports or working in college, doing some things. So it's no way that I miss anything because I always schedule stuff to where I'm there to them. Even if I'm at the beginning or the end, they know mama's going to be there to see them and cheer them on. And then
Okay,
mama's heading on. Either I'm flying or I'm driving, one of the two. But I'm going to be there to see them.
okay, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's very important. That's very important, especially in today's society. That's definitely important.
Mhm.
So I'm glad to hear that. So now, yeah, if you from the South and you can sing, you can dance, you can public speak. A lot of the singing and public speaking stem from being raised up in the church, and
Mhm.
so being raised up in the church, how has that groomed you for entertainment?
Well, my mom pushed me to sing as most black mothers from the South did. They start you in the church. You had to be in the children's church, and nowhere else. You better be there singing, whether you lip singing or not. You're there. And I just took a shining to it. I loved it. Had some solos in church. Still continue on it as and I grew with it in school. So I studied some of it in school. I played some instruments as well. A lot of people don't know that. Um, I played different instruments. I loved it. So music is something that really I'm passionate about because it is pretty much a therapy. It's very therapeutic. It speaks to you. Music can set the mood, the tone for a lot of different things. So coming from a church background, you're able to encompass and know that God gave you a gift and you want to use it. So he gives you one, he wants you to multiply it. And so I used it and it went tenfold. It went more than just singing. You got the singing, you got the music writing, composure, producing, engineering. So it can grow into so many different arenas. And in some of the movies I've been in, I've been able to showcase some of my singing abilities and put them in some of the music as the theme songs or just being played throughout the song to accompany what's going on in the movies. And only recently have I been able to join my two loves in a play I've been in. And we're going to be taking it to Raleigh soon, called Outside Looking In, where an author made her book into a play. And we sung and act, which is a big challenge, but it's also fun. So with that, I grew because now you add on to it. I combine the two. It's a form of entertainment, but it also has a message in all of it. And that's where the church is. You got a message.
All right, all right. So, we are here with Jon'Rea, singer, songwriter, actress, model, author, public speaker,
Oh, when you
all,
say that, I don't know how in the world I get it done. Thank you for making me tired just hearing you.
oh well, we're here. So we're gonna take a short commercial break and we'll be right back momentarily.
Do you know how many people are jealous of you? And they got no idea that the gift you have, you never prayed for. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. The gift that you hold, you never asked God to give it to you. And you got folk that are fighting you, and they don't know, I don't even want this. God done put it on my life. All I can do is flow in my gift. You know you're authentically anointed when people who got more than you don't like you. And you're trying to figure out why you attacking me when I ain't got nothing. I hope y'all tap this church. God said, if they hate you at this level, what they gonna do when I elevate you to a whole nother place? This is just the beginning.
Yeah, that was Bishop Jamal Bryant out of Baltimore,
Oh, I'm
Maryland.
gonna need you to send that because Bishop was talking some real stuff there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
It was
oh
that's
yeah.
confirmation of some things that were said recently.
So I thought you would be
Hi,
fitting in.
Portia.
What's up, Portia? What's going on? Thank you for tapping in with the Chatterbox with King Jacob. We definitely appreciate you for sure.
Hmm.
So time went on. You've been on some movie sets. So can you
I
drop a few?
have.
Can you drop a few jewels of the movies that you've been in, where they can find them and where they can find them at?
Okay, so I've been in Business of Pleasure, which is written by Derek Holly, who who created Dust House Films out of Columbia, South Carolina. I've also been in a few movies, um, the Blue Stars and Stripe, Blue Stars with Felicia, who was written by Felicia Rivers. Under Geechee One Films out of Charleston, South Carolina. I've also been in Sugar Babies. You can find these movies are now on Tubi. They're on Tubi. All you gotta do is look up Geechee One Films, which is also now being sponsored by Maverick, and you'll find a lot of the movies I'm in.
All right, all right.
Those
So
are a
so
few of them.
so this opportunity to become an actress.
Hmm.
Let's talk about how did this happen and when did it happen?
Oh, see, I can talk about the one recently, and then we're gonna go back because the one recently really was I was in the right place as I was trying to run away. So that actually was a blessing for me because I grew
Okay.
from this particular play. A lot of things changed, a lot of things happened. It was so inspirational. This past weekend, it was held at Brooklyn Baptist Community Center in West Columbia. Show started at 7 o'clock. We were expecting no more than 200 people. We were blessed with over 700 people in a building that holds 1,000 people. So Columbia, stand up. You really showed out for us, and they gave us some real genuine love and reviews afterwards. That was by chance. I was going to support a friend who was doing something, and she says, "I want you. I want you to cast." Gave me the paperwork, and I got the supporting lead role in this particular production. This production is not done. We're waiting on my the lead actress in the play to give birth to her baby. So we're going to wait for her to have her baby. We're waiting on the date, and then we'll be headed to Raleigh. So we'll be going to Raleigh, and I'm excited about that. So that's how I end up in that because that really was a very touching and moving. Um, because that was a coming based on someone's real life being brought to the stage, and I got to meet the character that I play. She was there from the book, so to be in the building with the person that I'm actually playing, that was such an honor. And the
Right.
daughter of the other person that was my co-star, she was there as well. So they got to see their story on stage, and we got to see them, and they were, based on the feedback, very proud of it. So that was a really touching moment for me as a actress, being able to have who I'm acting and portraying there in the room. So giving
Okay.
them the story of their life. Now, before that, acting really came about. I really never thought I was going to be an actor. So that's how I connected with his sermon, because I really never looked into acting. Mostly wanted to sing and everything else. I was not a big old drama. I call them drama queens because they always extra. But you know what? In singing, it's the same thing. We're telling the story just with our voice.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling you a story. We're giving you an image, and we're taking you to another level with our voice. But in acting, we're doing it physically, and we're becoming somebody else. So that was something that was a challenge for me, and it helped me grow. And then going into the music arena, it helped my music go to another level. So that, therefore, is what generated the change of name and direction for everything.
Okay. 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 So with you being an actress, let's
Hmm.
talk about being in role and coming out of role, right? So when you
Oh,
in your character mode, how long does it normally take you to get out of character mode?
um, it usually take me a few days to get out of it, depending on the type of character. Um, because you have to really embody that person. You have to become that person. You literally are called that name all the time so that you answer to that person's name. So that person is, you're no longer yourself. You're no longer your name, Monica, James, Jacob, Tasha, Tanya. You're never that person. You are actually that character. So my recent character was Mama Vi. So I really had to be Mama Vi. They never spoke to us of our names. It's always that person. So you have to literally, when you come out of that character, you have to detox and get away from some people and just relax and get yourself together. Because in the acting world, I don't know if you remember, there were some other actors, Robin Williams, who committed suicide, all those voices in his head, Tom Cruise, and all those other characters. They really have to get away for a little while to get to be who they are, so they know who they are. Because if you don't, they tie together and you get confused and you don't know who you are. So it's best to take at least a week to get yourself together so you can become yourself again, reunite with yourself.
It's funny you say that. Before I say what I say, what's up, Senior G? Tapping in from the Busy Global
Hello,
Network,
Senior G.
music Global Music Director for the Village Global Network.
Awesome.
Appreciate you tapping in, my brother, for sure. Now, I heard Mark Wahlberg say,
Hmm.
being a actor or actress, it's got its perks, but it also has its, struggles. And he said, what I mean by that, he said, depending on what role you're in, it might take you a month or two to come out that role.
It
Um, uh,
does.
and and he says, once you have acted for some years and once you understand storylines, to be an actress or actor first and understand storylines, that's what makes you a great script writer or screenwriter. And so,
Hmm.
as far as you writing, what is your writing like? Like what type of things do you like to write about? What type of stories do you like to bring to life?
Right now I'm doing mostly inspirational self-help, but I am going to venture into some possible mythical characters. Also some characters that have some things that deal with today's issues, mental health. I'm dealing with some abuse. I'm dealing with depression. So we're going to have some challenges in my next few books that's coming. And it's funny you say that because since I'm coming out of this character, I was in the process of working on a book. So you should see something from me in the upcoming months.
Okay. So we're gonna tap in the music industry. Where you see the music
Hmm.
industry at, so how do you view the music industry nowadays? And growing up listening to those records with your mom, like a Marvin Cease or the Gap Band or a Betty Wright or Minnie Riperton or, Marvin Gaye and
Yeah.
people like that,
Hmm.
how our parents seen the music industry and how we see it now is totally different. So how do you see things nowadays?
So the music of when my parents and your parents or our grandparents, that music is different than what we have now. A lot of the music has changed in context. It's changed in its presentation. Um, a lot of it is really sexualized to be accepted, or it has a quick message. But I do see a shifting in the music now. And from the music, you see a shifting of it being people are wanting something with a little more substance. They're coming away from the Soldier Boys type music where it's quick microwave type music, get the message out. We got the Sexy Reds, we got the Glorillas. So the fast fab music used to be what it was. Now we're starting to migrate into Southern Soul, Trail Ride, Neo Soul. Whereas they used to say R&B is dead, you're seeing a rise of it. Now we're seeing jazz and blues being mixed together because that's in the neo soul arena. A lot of people don't really know what's involved in creating neo soul music. That's a culmination of more than one type of genre of music. And depending on the artist, you'll see how they put it together and what they want in the story they want to tell. So
Hmm.
Trail Ride is really on the rise. Southern Soul is on the rise. But within all of those, you're hearing blues and jazz, and you're also hearing some other music. So a lot of people are getting things confused because they're feeling this, oh, it's just that shaking, twerking music. No, sweetie, it's not. So the music is starting to revert back to music of substance and purpose. And people are starting to listen to the lyrics now. Yeah, they want to dance. Yes, they want to move their feet and tap their feet. But they also want something they can hear. Because coming out of COVID, we were sitting at home and some of that music just didn't move you like it used to. So now they wanting something to feel good about.
Okay. So as the young folks said, the weather breaking, we back outside. So, you know,
Yeah, like I just dropped a new song called Outside.
yeah, we back
Because we
outside.
outside now.
That's right. We back outside. So,
Yeah.
you know, the reason I asked about the music that our parents listen to versus what we have to listen to. I can remember as a little boy ride with my dad and his Deuce in the Quarter when he had the 8-track taping
You
and
said a deuce in the quarter. Now you
yeah,
know, you know.
yeah, Deuce in the Quarter. That's right, Deuce in the Quarter. So he used to have the Al Green bumping. Al be like, and so I'm like, I was a little jit on. I see my daddy grooving and I see him go in the house and back then they had the component set with the 45 records and I see him put on that Manhattan's. He talking
Oh
about
yeah.
he talking about, honey, you are my shining star. Don't you ever go away. I'm like, and I'm listening,
Mhm.
and I still listen to those records, and I listen to what's out now, and I'm like, I'm
It's a
like,
total difference.
I'm like, what made them sing about love so much? And I ain't just talking about the women. I'm talking about men really sung about love back then. And so I'm intrigued to really understand why they sung about love and their penmanship. Because man, listen, Eddie
There was a
LaVerse,
different level of respect then. There was admiration then. There was a pride about self and about one another, different sexes. So, man and woman, you had a different level of respect for just being alive. I
hmm
think now we have gotten complacent. We've lost the humility. So, if you look at the content has changed. We don't
yeah,
sing about love like we used to. We now talk about um, fake love. We talk about uh, wow, it's a it's different stuff now. We talk
hmm
about now in the Southern Soul arena. That's where you hear a lot of the messages now, where they're talking about the respect of a working man. I heard one recently where there was a trucker who wrote a song about being a truck driver. You never heard that before. You ain't gonna hear that. So they're starting to give a respect of the working man because it's hard to find jobs nowadays. So we got to do something. So now they're taking the music and starting to do what we used to do back in the day and give a message and give respect of the working man, the working woman, the superwoman, the superman, the hardworking man, or Mercedes with some of the stuff she's been putting out. So I gotta shout her out because she been putting out some music out there. And then you have West Love with some of the things she putting out there. You know we got to talk about that side piece. You know, got the side piece going on. Of
right,
course,
right,
it's starting to go back to things that people can relate to, whereas it's not just something to put in the microwave and hear for a moment. It's not got some substance where it applies to something you got going on in your life. So we're
right,
starting to go back to the good old days of the music that says, "Hey, I got me a side piece," or "I got that good one that'll do this for me, that for me, and this for me." And it's some real stuff. They're talking about real life again. So we're bringing life back into the music. Ha ha ha.
right.
That's what we
So
were missing.
that's right. So you know what King George said: it's good in the morning, it's good in the evening too, but it's something
It's like,
about the night. It's something about that nighttime.
I know. He also talk about ain't nothing wrong with a little cushion for the pushing too.
Right,
He like a
right.
little cushion for the pushing. So,
Yeah,
we all have our areas that we're kind of conscious about. So he played into the fact that okay, we all got a little extra because we've been home, sitting home because of COVID. Now we're outside. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of extra little rolls here and a little roll there. I got rolls, you got rolls. So hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. So he's giving some life to things. You got Tucker talking about some things. You got Pokey Bear.
listen, man, listen, and then
Listen now.
you got that lady said, you know, be the best you can. But I'm telling you one,
Exactly.
if you're gonna get one, you better get you a Southern man. Hey,
Yes.
that's what she said. Hey,
Yes. So the South is getting a little extra attention nowadays.
right,
So
right,
that
right.
good music, that good for your soul, that mellow sounds, that southern blues and jazz is starting to creep up again. It was big once before, but it's real big now. Never went anywhere. It's always been around.
Yeah,
You just kind of pushed it by the wayside. It was waiting for its time.
that's right. It was just it's a different name. It's Southern Soul now, but we was going. It was
Yeah,
Soul Blue. Because you
it
had
was soul blues.
because you had
Marvin.
Marvin C was talking about the Candy Lemon.
Mhm.
And,
Yep. Baby,
Marvin Gaye
let
said,
me be.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You had Marvin
Your
Gaye asked you what
Candelica girl.
Marvin Gaye said. Ain't no feeling like that sexual healing. So
Ah, yeah.
yeah, they was grooving, man,
Hmm.
and the old and the OJ said last night we cried together. Man, good God Almighty.
And that stuff is still relevant now. So that's
Right.
the epitome of building legacies.
Mm-hmm.
That music that can withstand the test of time.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of this music is called microwave. You put it in the microwave, you heat it up, it's done. But
Right.
when you take that time with that crock pot food, that music, and put a little this, a little that, take a little bit, let that thing marinate. Oh, when you done, you got something good.
Right. 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 And it's funny you say that. I think good R&B is coming back. I just think good music period is coming back because
It is.
people have went through so many life situations since COVID. Man, they really want to hear that feel good music. You know,
Yeah,
and I think that the sense of urgency to feel good where you can fellowship with people and we can have some drinks, we got some food on the grill and we got the live
hmm,
band playing and it's no gunplay and ain't nobody doing nothing to really cause no trouble. It's like it's something that make you feel good and make you want to come back outside.
exactly. That's the whole thing. It's like now they're doing more stuff to come together. Whereas before we were stuck inside with each other, we didn't really have a lot. We was searching for stuff.
Right.
We were searching for stuff. Marriages fell apart. Kids exposing the truths that were behind the sheets and the doors when the doors closed. Hunger was hitting children that you never would have thought was hitting. And yet they had no voice.
Right.
So they made a voice. You may not have liked their voices, but the voices were heard. And in the worst way. So now, what do you do with what you know? People are
Right.
using their voices now.
That's right. That's right. And I
And
think
that's what music does. It gives a voice to those who can't ordinarily speak.
you're right. It does. And I think COVID made people, it kept us in the house, but it made people get along to come along.
They had to work through them problems because they had no other choice. Whereas
Right, right,
before we were running away from our problems, and that's what we did.
right.
It
So
was a
COVID,
scapegoat.
yeah. So COVID, you had to be in the house. You had to look
Hmm.
her or him in the face, and and you had to give them kids some explanations. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you had to find your truths within that. And finding your truth is a scary thing. That's why a lot of people were dealing with depression, mental health issues are coming on the rise because a lot of people were avoiding their truths
Right,
because they were sweeping it under the rug because they was running from their situations. They were connected with people, married to people, dating people. They couldn't hide. They could no longer hide that they were out there in them streets
that's
because now
right.
they stuck with the right person and the all other people in the streets trying to get them to come over there wondering why they ain't hearing from them. Well, they got to stay because Jody, you can't get them. And look at here, Jody done messed up a few homes.
Right, right. So man, we are live right here
Yeah.
on Exquisite Conversations podcast in association with the Chatterbox, sponsored by Exquisite PR firm, and we talking to John Ray. You the one and
Hello,
only. And
everybody.
talking to the one and only. And just want to ask you this: there's something that's called relationships and consequences.
Ooh.
So, so when in relationships, we have consequences, whether they're good or bad. It's still some consequences.
Mhm.
And so, how do you think this day and age, with 2024, and why do you think relationships don't make it, and why do you think the consequences when people are doing extracurricular activities while they're in a relationship, why are the consequences nowadays so dire? You know, cause nowadays, a lot of people will cut a person off and don't look back. Whereas back in the day, they were used to try to forgive a person. People make mistakes, but I feel like if you're doing something with extracurricular activities, including as far as cheating, I think cheating is premeditated like murder. So, with that being said, you thought about it before you did it. You did it, and you will face consequences. So, why should you be forgiven? And so, what's your thoughts on that?
Okay. So that's a loaded and heavy three-part question.
It is, and I know you can answer.
So, so with that question, you got to break that down. It's got to be broken down a good bit. The
Okay,
reason
okay.
why
So,
so much is happening right now is because now people are thinking we just came out of COVID. We're in what they call post COVID. If I'm stuck at home again, can I deal with you? So people are really thinking about decisions before they make them. They are really thinking about who they are connecting themselves. Some have gotten more spiritual because of some life changing events that may have happened. Some have actually probably been in a relationship during the time of COVID and found out that they made the biggest mistake in their lives. And others have been alone and now don't want to waste their time because of COVID. So COVID really was a stumbling block, but it was also a good thing because it made people think. And that's what people didn't do. They're missing the communication. So now people are wanting to verbalize and communicate their thoughts. And they're finding that they're worth something, not their time and everything. They're not just accepting things anymore. You see a lot of people saying, my worth, man and woman. So it really broke it down to where people are really, really delving deeper into what they truly want and not just rushing into anything anymore. Because there were a lot of situations where people realized, I don't really know this person. So they're now asking those hard questions that they need to ask and not just those surface questions of what do you like? What do you want to eat? They're now asking political questions. They're asking about family situation. They're asking about what would you do in certain situations. They're asking about finances because it was a big situation with a lot of people in finances. Those stipends that were given, those stimulus checks, I should say, that were given, really created some situations because people were just blowing money. Some created businesses, some not. So now they're wanting to know long-term goals. They want to know what you're going to do if you come into some money. What would happen if we run into a situation? So people are thinking deeper. They're taking time. They're more passionate about things. And then they're being exposed on some of their areas of lack. So
okay.
this it really made them step back and think, this person in front of me, is this someone I can see myself with? Is this someone I can see taking home to meet my family? Okay, my fam. Let's exclude family right now because I got to deal with this person. Should anything happen, this person gets sick. Can I deal with them? How do they handle their finances? Okay, what's their credit score? Since the American economy is based on that, we may want to buy a house together. We always want to buy the cow. Let's try the cow and see. Do I really want to try this cow? And if it's worth it, or is it just something I want to play around with and keep on going?
But see, the thing about building a relationship and building with people that you may
Mm-hmm.
want to be with, a lot of people love, each other physically, emotionally, but many people don't know who this person is spiritually. So when
Exactly.
when it comes to that right there, and when you find out later on after you've been with this person for a little while who they are spiritually and those kindred spirits don't match one another, then what is next? What type of move are you going to make?
See, that's where you have to ask those tough questions. We used to ask like just simple surface level questions, and they used to take the easy route of, oh, we got things in common, we a match. Oh, our zodiac signs match up. You're my zodiac. So it's not happening like that anymore. People are people are asking those questions. They're pushing past their comforts now because that's it. This person is somebody. If that's someone you want to deal with, you got to first start with yourself when you want to be in a relationship.
Right.
Bump anything else. You need to start and look at yourself and see what you want, see what you don't want, see what you're going to tolerate, see what you can deal with. See, know what's wrong with you.
Right, right.
Because a
And
lot of
then
people don't want to say that. Oh, I stutter, or they don't want to say, oh, I got some bad habits of I don't keep my house clean, or I don't like to keep a job, or I spend badly, or I'm unfaithful. When things get hard, I tend to self sabotage, or I don't even go to church. I don't know if I believe in God, or what if I date somebody who believes in God and I believe in something else? They don't ask those kind of questions.
that's true. That's true. You really got to know the person inside and out. And then my biggest question to a person, man, is man, how much do you love your mom and your daddy? Like what type of relationship do you have with your mother and your father? And if one of your parents is passed, well, just tell me the type of relationship y'all had when they was here. Let me understand who you are, because if you're a good son or daughter, then you potentially you you'll be a good husband or wife. But potentially, from what I
But
see
that's
in
it. They got to look at themselves, Jacob, first. Because if
right,
they don't want nothing serious, then there's really no purpose in even asking those questions. So they
that's
really have to look and see what do they want first.
right. But do people even have a true identity nowadays, and do they identify with themselves first
No, they
before
don't.
you know what I mean?
Look at how people carry themselves nowadays. Look at the pride in walking out. The young ladies that walk around with the bedroom slippers outside, walking around with the caps on their head all day. You first got to have some self-respect of yourself in going out.
Hmm.
That's a given. But then they don't even know what it is to be in a relationship because people actually treat a marriage like it's a boyfriend girlfriend situation. That's not what that is. That's a commitment. They don't even understand how serious of a commitment is.
Or they treat
They
it like
act
it's a, or they
they
treat
play
it like it's a
house.
right. Or they treat it like it's a bank statement.
Yes, like I'm marrying this person because their amount of money and my money can make that life I want to live. They're thinking of things like those things they see on the internet. Instagram. This is not Instagram. This is real life. It's
Right.
cheap to get. It's quick to get in. Trust and believe. You have this big old glamorous wedding, but what happens after everybody goes home?
Yeah.
You got to see this. You got to wake up the next morning. Did you realize this person might have flatulence or they might pass gas every day? They might have morning breath. Did you ever find out about that? Do they like to clean up? Do they like to cook? Do they eat the same things you eat?
Hmm.
They don't even ask the allergies anymore. People have allergies. Do they want to
Can
spend time with family? Do they go to do family events? Do they like to travel? They don't ask that kind of stuff.
or can
They
they
don't
con-
ask.
or can they conduct themselves well in a professional setting?
No, because they don't even do that type of dating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You see from the stuff that you see on the internet how trivial it is. They worried about you buying their nails or getting their hair braided, and that's just not women. That's men too. Getting what you need for them. They come with a price tag when they come in dating. No, 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 no. You were providing for yourself before you came in this relationship. What are you going to do if I don't provide that for you? What, your life is going to end if I don't do that?
And
And
neither,
that's being a little facetious in saying that, but a lot of them come with a already made list of what they expect somebody to do for them, but they don't even say what they're going to do for that other person. And they come in with the 50-50 mentality. Baby, it's not 50-50. It's 100-100, because when everything falls out, you need to know that they can carry the weight.
right. And then another thing is do you love yourself enough to win at life? Forget being with this person and that person. Do you love yourself enough to win at life?
That goes back with the self-worth and self-value
Right. It does.
and pride of self. And that doesn't mean pride as in you so prideful can't nobody tell you nothing, you know everything. That means taking initiative and time to do what you need to do to present yourself in a clean and respectful manner.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
But
But
we
no,
don't have time to do that stuff though.
we do have time. You make time for what you want to do. You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
what they say though, Jacob.
That's true. That's true. Because if you want to do something, you'll do it. You might not do it right then, or you might have to call the person and be like, I'll get with you in a couple of days. A little busy right now, but yes, we definitely need to talk about this. You know what I mean? So just a sense of urgency to really let the person know that you're on the same thought pattern as they on, because this needs to be handled and talked about before it go left. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you can stop things from going left.
Yes, and I know you about to go to the commercial break, and that's definitely an issue we definitely need to attack or talk about.
Okay, we will. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men, because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
That was motivational speaker
Ooh,
B. McFly out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A
Jacob, you
nonprofit owner.
dropping it.
Yeah, a
You
nonprofit
dropping them
owner.
gems.
Yes, he's a nonprofit owner, after school teacher. He works with congressmen. He works with the news stations. He's trying to clean the city of Philadelphia up. And he's got men coming back out the house again and talking to the youth, raising the youth, and you got men in the youth. And I just want it's an interesting story in Fort Worth, Texas. There was a there was a it was a men's day that they had at the middle school. You know, um,
Ooh.
teaching young men how to be men, and a lot of young boys didn't have a father, so they went around the neighborhoods and asked men could they stand in for fathers that was absent, that was in jail, that was already passed away, and that school had 600 men to show up.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was so remarkable, and I said, man, are we finally get back to this place where we're that we're going to show up for the children, that we're going to show up for the elderly, that we're going to take the true essence back to the communal from for what it once was. I know
Mm-hmm.
when I grew up, man, the community was everything. Everybody just rocked with one another on this high level, this positive energy. And my grandmama was your grandmother. My mom considered you as a son, like yours considered me as a son, and it was just
Mm-hmm.
so awesome, man. And now people, they even scared. Older people is scared to leave their screen door open so they can, see what's going on like they used to do back in the day. And
All right.
some of the elderly are terrified to come out the house, and it shouldn't be like that. So, shout out to Big McFly for bringing us that powerful and motivational message. Now, back to what we were saying. We can prevent stuff from going left.
You
Communication,
can.
open communication. But if we have
That right there is where it begins.
right,
That's where it begins.
if we have inadequate communication skills, where you never communicate with a person, and a person may feel some sort of way, they might not say anything, and then when they see you, it just may go left because they may be calling you because they may be in a time of need, and that conversation can save them from doing something crazy in the streets or save them from committing suicide. So,
Hmm.
therefore, what do you feel about the lines of open communication, and what level of communication should we all have with one another?
If you are in a relationship with someone, the lines of communication should be open. And when I say open, you should feel comfortable with that person to talk to them about everything. They should be your safe zone. They should be your safe zone. They should bring some kind of peace to you. You should feel safe enough to be able to discuss different topics, issues, and concerns without feeling judged. That's what should be happening. You should not have to feel like you have to go to outside because you should be able to talk to your partner, male or female. You should be able to come to your partner and talk to them about some things. I know we always have our friend, our best friend, and stuff that we talk to because it's easiest to talk to them. We've known them for a long time, but our partner should be someone we should be able to because we have a different type of connection with them. We have a level of intimacy with them. It should be a level of trust that when we say something to them, it should be there. You shouldn't have to worry about everything being in the streets. You shouldn't have to worry about being chastised by your significant other. You shouldn't have to worry about being embarrassed to say things. Although it may be an embarrassing topic, they should be able to come to you about their concerns, whether it's work related or relationship related. They should be able to come to you. Like if there's something going on in the relationship that they don't feel comfortable, that something you're doing that may seem questionable to them or somebody that's around you, they should be able to come to you and talk to you about it. And you should be open enough to receive that from them. Yes, you're different, but you should be open to receive information from them. And that has been an issue. I found myself in some of the things in relationship I've been in where it hasn't been a level of comfort to be able to feel safe enough to talk to that person about things. Or the same energy is not giving back, meaning they're able to speak to me, but I can't get the same in return. So it should be a return of things. Communication is a two-way street. Listening and communicating. So you talking and listening, but there have to be someone to receive what is being said. And that's the hardest thing. Everybody doesn't listen. They already set up to defend something that they haven't even received all the information. So we need to learn how to quiet ourselves and open up and listen. So that's two parts of communication people don't get. You quick
Well,
to chastise.
I would like to say, listen with the intent to understand. Don't listen with the intent to debate. Because if you
Exactly.
got in your mind that you want to debate the whole statement before you really listen to the statement, then you ain't hear nothing that that person just said. And what they said could be of so importance that they telling you this for a reason, not for you to debate, but let me vent to you for a minute so you can put your put yourself in my situation, and so
Mhm.
you can help me understand, and we can get some understanding from one another, so we can just get past this. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
And if that person is bringing it to you, they care. They're not
right,
just saying it just to say it or just complain. If they're bringing you a genuine concern, that person cares
right,
because later on down the line, you may say, "Oh, you don't talk to me anymore. We don't have discussions like we used to." That's something you hear in some songs nowadays. We don't talk like we used to. We don't go to places we used to. It starts somewhere. There was a breakdown in the communication. There was a breakdown in the comfort. There was a breakdown in the reception. So at some point in time, they felt like they were going unheard. So that's one reason why some people venture outside because they feel like they can't be heard by the one that's supposed to love them or have some type of feelings for them. They can't feel comfortable with this person anymore. So now somebody else
yeah,
is
but
now their new comfort.
you still gotta stand strong and stand firm. You know,
They do. I'm not giving them a scapegoat. I'm just letting it known.
right? Yeah, you're
Because
right.
there
You're
is
right.
two sides to everything. Some of the reasons why. Other people just greedy. They just greedy.
Yeah,
They just want what they want.
there's your side, is their side, and there's the truth.
Exactly. So there is some truth to the fact of a lot of people do go searching for something outside. But then there are those that just go because
You know,
mm,
you
they
know,
just
that's a whole nother level. It's a whole
yeah,
nother.
that's a whole nother discussion. We're not
Yeah,
going. But
yeah.
I'm giving something for both because there are reasons. Some people just don't know why they do it. They just do.
Right. Yeah. So we here with John Ray Exquisite Conversations podcast.
Hello.
Sponsored by Exquisite PR firm, and shout out to the CEO, Miss Nicole M. Jordan.
Hi, Miss
Uh,
Nicole.
thank you for this. Thank you for allowing us to be on your platform and use your platform most definitely. So we'll be right back after more important messages, and John Ray will be telling you where you can find her at. She'll be announcing some of her singles and what she has coming up next.
I'm tired of lying, and it's getting plain to see. I done tried hard to deny, but this woman changing me. Might go to the clubs, but I leave kinda early, and I don't drink and drive, but chug and jive, so my woman ain't gotta worry. No. See, I can't be playing with her heart or playing with her mind. We ain't getting no younger, can't play with my time. And I know she miss me and can't wait to kiss me. So I might be invited tonight.
You ain't gotta look for me.
I might be invited tonight. Yeah.
That man said he might be in by 10 tonight. You ain't got to worry. You ain't got to look for me. I'm going to be there. Whew. And mercy.
I know.
Yeah. That's my man. Too Smooth out of Mississippi, man. Up and coming R&B soul / Southern soul singer.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, John Ray, we've talked about your career in the entertainment business and about some relationship business and about
Hmm.
some, not letting things go left, when the situation can be saved. And then, just want you to tell people where they can follow you at and what you got coming up next.
Alrighty, so you can follow me on all social media platforms from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can follow me on even Snapchat at Genre the Artist, and I'll be there. Um, Seeing me, I'm going to be going on tour. My tour has already started, as a matter of fact. It started April 28th. So this upcoming weekend, I will be in Forest Park, Georgia, at a day show at Magnolia Lounge. The following weekend, I'm going to be heading to North Carolina. And then just follow me because every weekend I'm going to be somewhere doing something. I'll be going from Jacksonville, Florida to Catherine's, North Carolina, Lithonia. I think that's called Lithonia at Catherine's Farms. Then I'll be heading on some other places. I'm going to be traveling for a little bit. So you'll be catching me on the road. I'll probably be back in Columbia doing a performance late this summer. I don't know. But just stay tuned, stay connected, and you'll see where I'm going to be at.
All right, keep it locked. Exquisite Conversations Podcast, John Ray, the artist, and much more is coming from the modeling world to the film world, to musical performances. She's dropping a new book, and she'll be doing a lot more public speaking on various topics. So, keep it
Oh,
locked and just follow her social media and subscribe to her YouTube channel. And we want to thank you for tapping in with us. I'm so grateful that you tapped in. You could have been doing anything else, but you decided to give us a listen, and so we are eternally grateful.
oh,
And
Jacob, I got something else I want to drop.
okay, go ahead.
So recently I dropped a song. First kind of hip hop song. It's kind of exciting, but I will be dropping my first Southern Soul song later this month. It's two songs actually. One is called "Break You Off." It's a Southern Soul song, and then I will be dropping another one called "Crabs in the Bucket." Be on the lookout for them coming up. They'll be coming out. So I ventured into the Southern Soul world. Um, and and the books that will be coming out in the fall. So I thank
Oh,
you, Jacob, for having me on.
oh yeah, you welcome. You welcome. Oh yeah. So drop some information about your wine and spirits.
Okay, so I have a cognac. Um, I have a wine line called Flawless. I have 7 different flavors as of right now. Jacob is one of my ambassadors for, and yes, I announced he's one of my ambassadors for my new cognac that'll be coming out, and it will be dropping late summer. I will let him introduce what it will be at that time. That is not for me to do. I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with it. I already have a cognac out. It's called Volcanic Yak, baby, and it I can't keep it on the shelves. It will be coming to a store near you real soon.
And she will be having it distributed in some clubs as well. So we are working on some things. And we always, and I'll be traveling with her too. So I'll be at some of the shows. I ain't gonna say all, but I'll be there, traveling with her and handling her BI for her while she's amazing the crowds. You know what I mean? While she's rocking the stage. So most definitely. So until the next time on Exquisite Conversations podcast, I am yours truly, King Jacob, John Ray, the artist. Peace, love, happiness, and just remember, there's lessons in your blessings. We out of here.